What's up, y'all? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you what's on my mind, and I want to kick it off by saying thank you to all of the new subscribers, all of the old subscribers, everyone who comments. You know, I love that give back, that give and take. You know, I love that. Everyone who likes the videos and everyone who dislikes the videos, exercising your rights as Americans. Okay, this evening I want to talk about this article that I just saw while I was perusing the World Wide Web. And I saw this article and it's got me kind of thinking about where we are these days in terms of political correctness and anti-social injustice warriors and all that stuff. And we have this story that I just saw. And this is the story of the character Apu on The Simpsons. I haven't watched The Simpsons in God knows how long, but I remember when I used to watch it, used to always crack me up. I love The Simpsons, and I don't know, I just stopped watching it after a while. I mean, I don't watch a lot anyway, as it is, you know, but yeah, so I saw this article, and I want to just read it to you guys, just to see, I guess, to get a feel for what you guys might think about this. All right, the article is on CNN.com, so you know it's substantial. And the headline is, Hank Azaria is willing to step aside from playing Apu on The Simpsons. Okay. This is by Lisa Respers France, CNN. The article starts off by saying, Hank Azaria says his eyes have been opened and he's willing to step aside from playing his controversial Simpsons character. Now this is interesting. Before I even go forward, it just makes me think. It makes me think about a certain round-headed, blockhead director in Star Wars, which would be Rian Johnson, who actually is kind of like a grown-up Charlie Brown, you know? It's like, but anyway, Rian Johnson talks a lot about how there are too many white dudes in the game as far as being directors and things like that, and he talks about how we need more people in the directing business who are not white dudes. And Hank Azaria says he's willing to step aside, you know, for what he believes is not right. You can learn something from that, Rian Johnson. You can follow his lead. I am all for it, man. I support you 100%. Blockhead. Anyway, going on with the article. The actor appeared on Tuesday's episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, never miss an episode, and talked about the fallout surrounding the character he voices, Apu. You know, I'm not even going to try to say this character's last name. This is ridiculous. Comedian Ari Kondobolu's documentary, The Problem with Abu, debuted last November and looked at the character as a negative, stereotypical representation of South Asians. You know, I never got that from that character. You know, like I said, I wasn't the biggest religious Simpsons watcher, especially like in Forever. But whenever I saw the character of Apu, I never saw anything that I thought was offensive. Never, you know. Honestly, I mean, he was always portrayed probably about as crazy as everybody else on that show, and it just wasn't mean-spirited to me. So I don't know, you know. But Ari Kondobolu disagrees. So Apu, an Indian-American character with a thick accent, operates the Quickie Mart convenience store in the fictional town of Springfield. The show recently aired a response to complaints about him. Writers had the character of Lisa Simpson respond to a question from her mother Marge by saying, "Something that started decades ago and was applauded and inoffensive is now politically incorrect. What can you do?" Before Lisa glanced at a framed photograph of Apu on her nightstand, which was inscribed with the message, "Don't have a cow." The scene generated further complaints from viewers. That's another good point. I think that Hank Azaria has been voicing this character now for what, 15, 20 years? Probably even more. The show's been on forever. So why now, in 2018, would there be a push to get him to stop doing this after all this time? Could it be that it hasn't been offensive for all these years? Could it be that it's just us, this society, that is changing and losing its sense of humor and ability to be able to actually poke fun at each other? I mean, after all, this is America, right? So being that this is a melting pot and this is a merging of so many different cultures, I think, yeah, there is going to be a tendency to kind of poke fun at our differences, as long as it's not disrespectful, I would say. And it can be done. Like, I know, for example, I think that Robert Downey Jr. was hilarious in Tropic Thunder. You know, he was in blackface. I can't remember the name of the character he was playing, but he was a guy playing a guy who was playing a guy or something like that. Dude, I was upset when he took off the makeup, honestly. You know, when I was watching that, Robert Downey Jr. fucking nailed it. As far as I'm concerned, that dude was black. You know what I'm saying? So it can be done. You know what I mean? I think that having a sense of humor in a society such as ours is essential. You know, and it is a way of paying respect also. Just because we can laugh at each other doesn't mean that it's disrespectful. So anyway, going on. Azaria voices multiple characters on the show, including Mo and Chief Wiggum. He told Colbert he just wanted to be funny, and of course we all knew that, right? The idea that anybody, young or old, past or present, was bullied or teased based on the character of Hapu, it just makes me sad, Azaria said. It was certainly not my intention. I wanted to spread laughter and joy with this character, and the idea that it's brought pain and suffering in any way, that it was used to marginalize people, it's upsetting. The actor told Colbert he had nothing to do with the show's response, given that Apu doesn't speak during the episode. Azaria said he did not agree with the show's response to the controversy. Azaria said he's given a great deal of thought to how to proceed and believes the most important thing is to listen to South Asian people, Indian people in this country, when they talk about what they feel and how they think about this character. He also called for more inclusion in the Simpsons writing room, even if that means he no longer voices Apu. I really want to see Indian, South Asian writers in the room, not in a token way, but genuinely informing whatever new direction this character may take, including how it is voiced or not voiced. They should probably just phase him out if they're going to do that, Azaria said. No, Azaria didn't say that. I said it, by the way. I'm perfectly willing and happy to step aside or help transition it into something new. I really hope that's what The Simpsons does, and it not only makes sense, but it just feels like the right thing to do to me. CNN has reached out to The Simpsons for comment. Okay, that's the end of that article. And once again, guys, I never got the idea watching The Simpsons that their intention was to make fun of Indian people. In my walk of life, I actually interact with Indian people all the time. I mean, I always joke with them that I'm practicing my Indian head wobble, you know, because it is a thing. And I noticed that, you know, in my interactions with Indian people, that they have this thing they do. And it turns out it's kind of like how Americans nod, you know, if they're in the affirmative. And if there's any Indian viewers out there, tell me if I'm wrong, you know, they do this Indian head wobble. You know, so when I'm talking to them, because I have these interactions with them as much as I do, sometimes I guess subconsciously I find myself doing it too. You know, just kind of like wobbling and things like that. And I can laugh at it, and I do poke fun at it. I poke fun at everything and everybody. And I trust myself to be able to do it because I'm not disrespectful. You know, and if anything that I do comes... He said doo-doo. If I do anything that comes across as offensive, of course, if they make it known to me that it's offensive to them, then I will apologize right before I tell them, shut the fuck up. You know, so anyway, it's just a sad day, man. You know, and for my money, like I said, I hope that if they're going to stop Hank Azaria from doing the voice of Apu, I hope that they just phase the character out. You know what I mean? Because I think that man has worked very hard on his voice work. Like I said, I don't think he did it in a mean-spirited way. Right now, the voice is pretty much associated with that voice actor, and he does tons of other voices on the show as well. So if they're going to retire the voice, they should probably retire the character too, you know. I mean, damn, man, The Simpsons been on for so long, maybe they should just retire the damn show. I don't know. But anyway, what do you guys think about this? You know, is this some more of that anti-social injustice warrior bullshit, or do they actually have a point? You know, whoever it is that's making an issue out of this. You know, of all the people that I've spoken to who are of Indian descent, I never heard any of them talk about this. I wonder who's really behind this, but anyway, what do you think about that? I just wanted to address that because it's, you know, it's an article I saw and I was thinking about it. So Anyway, tell me what you think. And rest in peace, Hapu. It's a sad day for America, man. We are slowly but surely losing our ability to be human with one another, to be able to have fun with one another. And I don't think we're going to be better for this kind of thing. That's just my opinion. You let me know what you think. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. I will see you on the next one. Rock on.